So welcome to this YouTube class. So we shall now discuss the type of personnel in urban governance. Okay, so we have discussed already the types of urban areas and other things. We have also discussed about the Local Self-Government 74 Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so we shall discuss the 74 urban personnel, and then we shall discuss some questions based on urban local self-government. Okay, so let me start the class. Okay, so type of urban personnel system. There are separate personnel system and separate personnel system, and your unified personnel system, and we can say that is your integrated personnel system. There are three types of personnel system used in municipality administration. Okay, there are a lot of things you can see. So what is separate personnel system? In the separate personnel system, you will find that the type of things. In the separate personnel system, you will find that persons engaged in municipalities are separately appointed by the municipal authorities. They are separately appointed by the municipal authorities, and hence they are called separate. So they work for the municipalities, and their salaries, other terms and conditions are decided by the municipal authority. They are not transferable to other municipalities. They join there, and probably they will retire also from that municipality. So that is called separate municipality system. It is not prevalent in India, rather in foreign countries. So that is called separate personnel system. So we can conclude that in this personnel system, the municipal authorities hire their own staff, and the staff work for the municipalities as long as they can continue or there until they retire, and all the terms, conditions, everything is decided by the municipal authority. They are not transferable to other municipalities. Okay, so that is called your separate personnel system. Now we shall mention about the that is your unified personnel system. Unified personnel system. Remember, in unified personnel system, that is you can say that is a structure based, means there is a cadre based unified. So unified personnel system. In unified personnel system, the urban personnel are appointed on cadre basis. They continue in the municipal service as long as they are in the service. So special cadre based. It is cadre based service. For example, in Odisha there is OMAS, Odisha Municipal Administrative Services, and it is nothing but the type of service in which the personnel are recruited and they continue to serve the municipality until they retire. So that is the things about the municipal system. That is urban municipal system. In unified, there are OMAS. For example, we can take example of OMAS. So OMAS is a type of unified personnel system. Another is your you can say your integrated personnel system. In integrated personnel system, the members of the state civil service are also recruited in the municipalities. For example, most of the municipal posts are in Odisha are from state civil service. So they are recruited by the state government and appointed in the municipalities. They can also be transferred to other services like rural services. So there is no uniformity in their services. But in case of unified system, the municipal authorities are chosen for the municipality's purpose, and they are transferable from one municipality to another. They are not transferable to other services. So that is called unified civil services. There are certain states where uniform civil services also in existence. Okay. So there are certain services in which the unified civil services exists, and there are also certain services where the you can say where the types of municipal personnel. Okay, in the you can say in the unified civil services are in existence in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, MP. So these are the areas we are having unified services. I told you the state government appoints, administers and controls the municipal personnel. In other words, statewide services are created for all urban services, cadre based services. Like example, UMAS. Then in integrated civil services, in integrated municipal services, by an integrated personnel system, the members of the state civil service are recruited in the urban areas. Under this system, the personnel of the state government and those of the local bodies form the part of the same service. In other words, the municipal personnel are the members of the state services. They are transferable not only between the local bodies in the urban areas, but also between local bodies and departments of the state governments. Thus, there is no distinction between local civil service and state civil service. But in case of unified personnel system, a specific local civil service is established. Odisha is heading towards that. So we can say the Indian integrated system is found in Odisha partially, and Bihar, Karnataka, Okay, Karnataka, Punjab, Haryana, etc. and other states are also there. So there are, you have noticed that there are various types of such personnel system in existence, but there are several system of personnel like separate personnel system, unified personnel system, integrated personnel system. The in separate personnel system upholds the principle of local autonomy and promotes undivided loyalty to local services. They are not transferable, but in case of unified, they are transferable, but only between the urban local bodies. Integrated, they are transferable not only between the local governments but also between the other local governments and state departments. So there are Odisha is partially unified personnel system, is heading towards unified personnel system, but at present most of the urban posts are fulfilled through the state civil service. Okay, so these are the major things. Rather, you have to discuss all these things in urban personnel system, and there are institutional arrangement. Then we shall notice institutional arrangement for local self-government. Institutional arrangement for local self-government. There are various bodies which work for the municipal personnel. All India Institute of Local Self-Government, All India Institute of Local Self-Government, AIISG. It is headquartered in Mumbai. It was established in 1927, the oldest one of them. There was a Center for Urban and Environmental Studies, New Delhi, and it was established in 1967. It is 1927 as per the book. There were regional centers for urban and environmental studies. Environmental studies in Kolkata. Hyderabad and Mumbai. They were all set up in 1968 on the recommendation of a committee, that is Ahmad Committee, Naruddin Ahmad. Then National Institute of Urban Affairs, 76, National Institute of Urban Affairs, NIUM. That is located in 1976, and that is New Delhi, and Human Settlement Management Institute. So these are the institutional arrangement for municipal administration in India. Kindly take a note of this. Okay, These are the major institutional arrangement for India, for municipal administration in India. We'll find a lot of things in this institute. They are working towards the development of urban areas and proper planning. Okay, that is the things. National Institute of Urban Affairs is located in New Delhi, that I have not mentioned. Then human settlement, Management Institute, New Delhi, 1985. Yes, human settlement managed under the Housing and Urban Development Corporations operating, that is New Delhi, and it is also situated in New Delhi. Alright, so these are called the institutional arrangement for the growth and proper management of urban areas. They provide inputs for better urban management in India. And you can see that despite all these things, urbanization is not being very faster in India. Percentage of urban population in India in 2021, that is near about so percentage of urban populations in 2021. So it is very taddy, so to say, taddy in the case of India's total urban population. India's urban population historical data, it is about 35.3%, 35.39% in 2021, and it was just a change over only 2%, 3%. In 2011 it was only 31%, so within the decades it has risen to only 4%. Okay, so that is the things. In 1901 in 1901 it was a very bigger percentage. 1901 urban population was only 10.84%. It is 2021 and 10.84% in only 1901. And in 1950 okay, so in 1951 it is 17.3% in 1951. So you can see that there has been a steady growth in urban population in India at present. There is been very steady growth, you can say. Okay, then we shall move to municipal revenue. There are 5 sources of municipal regulation boli kuhauche. What is the tax revenue? In case of tax revenue, there are several taxes from the local taxes revenue generated. Revenue from local taxes like property tax, entertainment tax, professional. Pilgrim tax, octroi. So these are the taxes, tax revenue. Okay. Octroi. So these are the taxes. Then non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue. Rent on municipal properties. Fees and fines. Royalty. Profits and dividend. Interest. User charges. And miscellaneous receipts. User charges, that is payment of public utilities, include water charges, sanitation charges, sewage charges, that is called user charges. Then number 3, grants. Grants by the state government and central government on the recommendation of Finance Commission. By the grants to municipal bodies by the center and state to several development programs. Sorry, that is not the grants means by the center and states, by the center and states to implement for implementation of a plethora of developmental programs. Grants. Then number 5, loans. A devolution on the recommendation of State Finance Commission. from loans from state government and financial institutions. So kindly note the sources of finance in urban municipal revenues. There are tax revenue, there are non-tax revenue, there are grants, there are devolution of persons, there are loans. Alright. So despite all these things, despite finances, despite all these larger forces, they are very deficit resources for the municipal. They are not financially self-sufficient. Local self-government, not only rural but also urban areas, they are not financially sufficient because these are very minimal taxes which are insufficient for the urban government to function on their own resources. So they depend mostly on the devolution, on recommendation of the grants and devolutions. So which are operated only at the instigation and at the direction of the central and states, the government which devolves. Hence, municipal or local self-government, both rural and urban, are not financially sufficient because there are a lot of factors. Most of the matter is there is a very meager sources of revenue, tax revenue. They are not sufficient, and there are also non-tax revenue is very restricted, and their income is not very large. With regards to grants, they depend solely on the grants of the center and devolution by the Central State Finance Commission. Hence, they are entirely dependent or mostly depends upon the state government grants and the central government grants for implementation of developmental policies and also for the recommendation of the State Finance Commission. Another factor is that the state finance commissions are not constituted regularly by many state governments. Most of the state governments have not even constituted the third state finance commission. So that is the irony of the situation. Many states are unwilling to devolve more financial autonomy to the urban areas. The taxes and other things are mostly levied and collected by the state governments, and hence the financial the municipalities or the urban local government suffers from financial poverty. Okay, so there is a need for more and more financial resources to be allocated for this purpose. So guys, we have discussed all these things in a very detailed manner. You can notice that we have gone up to the extent of urban population, how the urbanization process is very tidy and slow, and even those the 31% some percentage would be called living in the semi-urban areas, not properly developed. So urban administration or urban government, or you can say the cities and towns are not well developed, or so far most of the cities are suffer from infrastructure, housing problem and water supply. So there have been a lot of issues associated with urbanization in India. We can notice that. So therefore the process is very tardy, very slow, and only there are 35% of the total populations are urbanized so far in calculation. But it will be really urbanized will be 20 or 25 around. Okay, but from the mostly urbanized states like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and others, Kerala and Karnataka also to some extent, and the most states are very least urbanized. In Odisha, for example, the percentage of urban population is only 17% of the total population. Okay, so that is the things. Now we shall start a new chapter, constitutional bodies, but before that let us have a brief look at the questions, appropriate questions for urban local self-government that I have presented before you. So kindly take a note of this. So look at the first question. The Ministry of Urban Development and Employment, obviously it was created in 1951 as Urban Affairs Development, Urban and Housing Development Ministry, but in 1995 it was renamed as Urban Development and Employment. So that will be the answer, will be 1985. Kindly take a note of this. It will be 1985. 1985 will be the theory. Next. Okay. Next. The ministry which is responsible for the urban areas in the urban union territories, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay. Next is so let me clear you that urban local union home minister, Indian Affairs Home Ministry is in charge of cities in union territories and urban development in cities and states. Ministry of Defense is cantonment boards. Okay, so answer will be B. It will be C, not D. Okay. National Commission on Urbanizations as appointed 1985 was chaired by yes. Okay, that is 65 Amendment 1989. What will be the answer? What will be the answer to question number 5? P.V. Narasimha Rao. Okay. Question number 7. A census town must have a minimum population 75% of male working age population. It must have a population density of 400. It comes under a type of urban areas. That is not listed. Question number 8. Which of the following is not a type of urban local body? All types. In India, the first municipal corporation was set up in which of the following states? Madras. You can say in what? In 1688. The conduct elections to municipalities shall be vested in the state election. Okay. It is created by the executive body. It is not created by the executive body. Cantonment boards are established under Cantonment Board Act 2006. Earlier it was 1924, but 2006 repealed the act and it is new act under which cantonment board cities are established. So that is incorrect. All are correct. So answer is A. Which one of the following is the final authority to decide disqualification of members of the Municipal State Election Commission? It is A. You can get this idea that cantonment boards are established under an act, they are statutory towns. So, and they are established under so there are a lot of cantonment boards. There are 62 cantonment boards. So you can notice in Uttarakhand, in Uttar Pradesh, the largest number of cantonment boards are there, like Agra, Allahabad, Ajodhya, Babina, Barli, Bareilly, Jhansi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Fatehgarh, Mathura, Meerut, Shahjahanpur, and Varanasi. In Gujarat, only Ahmedabad is the city. Then in Maharashtra, Ahmednagar, Aurangabad, Dehu Road, Pune, Deolali, Nasik, Kamptee, Nagpur, Kharki, Pune, camp in Pune. And in Bihar only Danapur is the military town, Jharkhand, Ramgarh, in Shillong and in West Bengal. So there is no cantonment boards in Odisha. Largest number of cantonment boards is Uttar Pradesh. Largest number of cantonment in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so that is the things, you can notice it. Now a ward committee is established in 3 lakh for better coordination. And which type of municipal personnel system? We can now say integrated personnel. Minimum age to contest election in municipal election is 21. 74th Constitutional Act, fraction member of the committee of the Panchayat should be district committee 4/5. Question number 18. 18. Which of the following is not a cantonment board in India? So it is in Muzaffarpur, there is no cantonment board, it is in Bihar. Wellington is in Tamil Nadu. The 74th Amendment Act came into operation in June 1st, 1993. How many types of municipalities are provided in the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act? 3 types. Mission, Okay, that is June 25, 2015. The Union Urban Ministry, Urban Development and Employment is responsible for the operation of Smart City Mission. Every year, the thousands of crores rupees or lakhs of crores rupees are sanctioned in the budget. That is the things. Okay. So that is 21. And 22, number of schedules is 18. That is 53. Who is the executive head of the municipal corporations? Development commissioner. So guys, we have completed the questions. Some number few questions for your practice. You can see there are some good questions also. There are all good questions in my urban local government. And with this we have come to the chapter, end of the chapter, urban local government. Okay, so now we shall base our answer on a brief analysis on okay. Administration of okay. So Indian territory, according to Article 1, categorizes So these are the three types of areas are there: states, union territories, and acquired territories. It is mentioned in Article 1, Clause 2. Then difference between states and union territories. States States are in member of the federal system, they are not members. The functions. The function election most general, there is no Look at the major differences between the states and union territories. They are administered directly by the center, hence they are called centrally administered territories. Centrally administered territories. So that is the things. These are the major things about the head of the state. Okay. Next is your basis. For political, administrative consideration, strategic, On the basis of the following categorization, the Union Territories of India are established. There are certain purposes behind them. There are political purpose, cultural purpose, strategic purpose, and certain other purposes. Delhi and Chandigarh are established to facilitate administration of the country and also the Union Territory of Delhi. Chandigarh is also the same type of administrative basis. Cultural distinctness is especially for Puducherry, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Damandiu because they are allied culture. And strategic importance is Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar, salient features, special treatment for backward classes from Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh. But let me assure you that these four union territories have already been states. For example, in 1972, Manipur and Tripura okay. So remember the basis of the administrations, union territories. Now in 2019, you can add 2019 also if it is for security reason for strategic location. I think it is Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir will be added. Here cultural Ladakh. After 2019, it will be after Okay, so these are the things. Administration. Article 239 to 241 in part 8 deals with although Union territories come under one category, although to there is no uniformity in their administrative system. Every union territory is agent of the kindly take a note of this. Okay, now we shall move to the designation of the different union territories. NCT of Delhi, Andaman Nicobar, they are all lieutenant. They are all lieutenant governors. Administrator, in this capacity, So kindly take a note of this. Okay. So whenever governor acts as the or appointed as the administrator of an adjoining union territories, he is constitutionally authorized to act independently of the Council of Ministers, because the Council of Ministers belongs to the state, not to the union territories. Sometimes he acts, and whenever he acts, he can act independently of the decision of the state government. He does not need to consult with the Council of Ministers in case of any issue. Okay. So kindly take a note of all these things. Now, legislative assemblies For example, in Puducherry, 1963, Jammu and Kashmir, 1966, and that is Delhi, 1966, J&K, so these are the three union territories which have a state legislative assembly. But remember, even if the state union territories has got a legislative assembly, but it does not diminish the law-making power of the parliament. The parliament can enact on all the subjects mentioned in the state list of the constitution for the union territories, even if there are certain legislative powers, legislative assemblies are provided to certain union territories, but that does not diminish the law-making power of the parliament. Parliament has supreme authority to make legislation, and it can also reject any law made by the assembly. So, in case of union territories, even having legislative law-making power is not independent and supreme. There is least controversy about it. The Parliament can make laws not only any subject of the three lists, including the state list for the union territories. The Parliament's law-making power is overriding to for all UTs, including those having legislative assemblies. Parliament all the three lists for union territories. The UTs, the Legislative Assemblies of Delhi, okay, so these are the major powers, and also Jammu Kashmir can make law except public order and land and police. Puducherry also can make law as concurrent list and state list. So they can also make and concurrent list. Okay, so these are the major parts. And with regards to the president man can replace all the preach and progress, except that is the thing. So kindly take a note of this. Okay, the president can make legislations for the peace, progress, and good governance of Andaman and Nicobar, Ladakh. The president can also make legislation for Puducherry when the assembly is not in session or assembly is dissolved. A regulation made by the president has the same force of law as an act of parliament. Okay, the parliament can establish the high court also. The parliament can establish a high court for union territory or put it under the jurisdiction of an administrator. For example, at present, Delhi and Jammu Kashmir, you can say 1966, Delhi, 1966, and you can say Jammu and Kashmir. That is also not re-established, but you can say it is in 1928 established, but let's see what happens. Okay, but the other union territories are put under different union territories like Daman, Diu and Dadra Nagar are put under Daman, Diu, Delhi High Court, Jammu and Kashmir High Court, Daman and Diu and Dadra Nagar under Bombay High Court. Kerala High Court and Chandigarh, Ladakh under Jammu and Kashmir High Court. The Constitution does not contain any separate provision for the administration of acquired territories, but the constitutional provision for the administration of union territories can also apply to acquired territories. So, the administration of the union territories will be applicable to the acquired territories because there is no specific mention about the administration of acquired territories whenever a territory is acquired. And the union territories are acquired by the special provisions for Delhi is there for 69th Constitutional Amendment 1901 provided President Union Territory of Delhi, National Capital Territory of Delhi and designated as administration and Lieutenant Governor. It created a legislative assembly and something like that, Council of Ministers. And there are two advisory bodies are established. One is Home Minister's Advisory Committee, another is Administrators Advisory Committee. Home Minister's Advisory Committee and Administrators Advisory Committee HMCA and Administrators Advisory Committee, two major committees. Administrative Home Minister's Advisory Committee is the principal body which takes the major decisions in the union territories. Okay. So these are the major areas. The member of parliament and elected members from the local bodies, etc., district panchayat, municipal councils of the respective union territories are members of these committees, among the others. The committee discusses the general issue relating to social and economic development. Union Government of India, allocation of business rule 1961, Ministry of Office, and nodal ministry of the matters of union. So Home Ministry, Union Home Ministry is the just a minute. Okay, so these are the major aspect of your union territories. We have seen a typical administrative system is adopted for the administration of union territories, and basically there are home ministries, nodal ministries responsible for the better administration of the union territories. And when we talked about the Article 1, in which three types of union territories are contained. One is states, another is union territory, another is acquired territories, but there is no specific chapter or part spent for acquired territory administration. The system of administration prevalent in the union territory is made applicable to the acquired territories. The 69th Constitutional Amendment 91 provided a special status to Union Territory of Delhi and redesignated it as National Capital Territory of Delhi and designated the Administrator of Delhi Lieutenant Governor. It created a Legislative Assembly and a Council of Ministers of Delhi and Respond Metropolitan Council as an Executive Council. The strength of the Assembly is fixed at 70 members and directly elected by the people. The elections are conducted by the Election Commission of India. The Assembly can make laws on all matters in the state list and concurrent list except public order, land and police. But the laws of Parliament prevail over those made by the Assembly. The strength of the Council of Ministers is fixed at 10% of the 10th total strength of the Assembly, that is 1 Chief Minister and 6 other ministers. The Chief Minister is appointed by the President, not by the Lieutenant Governor. The other ministers are appointed by the President on the advice of the Chief Minister. The Minister holds office during the pleasure of the President. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the Assembly. The Council of Ministers is headed by the Chief Minister and advises the Governor in the exercise of his functions except insofar as it required to act in his discretion. In the case of difference of opinion, its Governor and his ministers, the Governor is to refer the matter to the President for decision and act accordingly. When a situation arises in which the administration of the territory cannot be carried on in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution, President can suspend their above provisions operation and make necessary incidental and consequential provisions for administering the territory. In brief, in case of failure of constitutional machinery, the President can impose his rule in the territory. This can be done on the report of its governor or otherwise. The provision areas resembles Article 356, which deals with the imposition of presidential rule in India. Its governor empowered to promulgate ordinances during the recess of the Assembly, and ordinance has the same force upon Act of Assembly. Every such ordinance must be approved by the Assembly within 6 weeks from the date of assembly. You can also withdraw an ordinance from the time. You cannot promulgate an ordinance when the Assembly is dissolved or suspended. Further, no such ordinance can be promulgated or withdrawn without the prior permission of the President. So these are the legislative things we have. Okay, 239B and 239A. 239A, 39AB, that is President's rule. At 239B, promulgate ordinances. So this is all about the administration of Union Territories in India. We have discussed a lot. In next class we shall be starting with scheduled areas. Next class. Scheduled areas. We will take brief time to discuss the scheduled area administration. And we shall then proceed to constitutional bodies. Okay, so this is all about. Let me close the class here. All right. Okay, thank you very much for following us and watching our classes.